Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show for the month of August, August 8th to be precise. A few days away from my birthday. It's the most important thing, of course. Everybody knows it. And thank you for joining us today. This is to promote the wonderful Comedy Cellar. If you happen to be down in the West Village tonight, you'd be able to see an hour with Jim Norton. Jim Norton, who's a friend of this show and a friend of mine, who doesn't have the same birthday, but did you know we grew up across the street from each other all those
Really?
years ago in New Brunswick, New Jersey?
Did he throw a bottle of urine at your car?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe because he was peeing in his diaper. I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
No, but yeah, we just found that out like recently, which was kind of funny. We grew up on this at Highland Park, New Jersey, and Fox Road.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff. Also, if you're in Las Vegas this week, you get to see Lynn Coplitz, who,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I usually just see her walking her dog around town. I don't get to see her that often anymore, but
Is she back
she's
in
a
the city or is
pro.
she still in
And
Florida?
say again?
Is she back in the city?
Oh, I don't know. Where'd she go?
I thought she was in Florida for a while.
Oh, like she moved?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. She's usually at the bar I hang out in. Like, I mean, I see her, she lives like right in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I haven't. Maybe that's why I haven't seen her in so long. I don't know. Oh, she moved to Florida. I guess that would make sense. Very funny. You're talking about Lynn Coplitz, Ange? Yeah. And
Yep.
hello, Ange. Hello, Marcy. And a week late. It's so nice to see everybody. It's is it still hot out there? Because it's perfect here today in New York. Absolutely perfect. And it's a little windy and cool. There's only been like 3 or 4 days where it's been uncomfortably hot. And when I say uncomfortably hot, the way it is in July and August, especially August. So again, I never know why anybody gets all bent out of shape. It gets hot in the summer, people. That's what happens. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
What's it been like in Texas?
Between like 95 to 105.
But isn't that normal for Texas?
It didn't used to be, but yeah.
I always thought it was. That's the way I always pictured when I used to watch Dallas. God, it must be so hot there.
That's like before, like 92 was like a really hot day, and now it's like that's the day you hope for.
It's weird. I mean, obviously it's not weird. We know there's something going on with the planet, but I can remember as a kid it being so hot where you couldn't breathe. It was so humid sometimes in New Jersey in the summer. Walking out of my house, my dad would still make me mow the lawn. And it was so hot. Tell him how much humidity, Mike. Yeah. Is there humidity in Texas?
Oh yeah, it's like being in a dog's mouth the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But in Phoenix, Ange, it's not, there's no humidity, right? So in the nighttime, it gets cooler. No? Or am I wrong about that? Because that's when people would complain about being hot when I was in Los Angeles. And I'm like, you people don't know what hot is. Because humidity is just the worst. You know, if you're in the sun and you can go in the shade and get cool, it's not so bad.
Well, we're old men talking about the weather.
That's true. That is what I do. That's what I do. Old man talking about the weather. Well, let's see. I did notice. I watched this weekend. I actually watched the women's soccer game in the World Cup, and I was obviously not impressed. I mean, I don't know what everybody's upset about. These women didn't score a goal for like 6 hours. They
Wait,
just
what?
weren't scoring any goals. When they were tying it, I mean, everything was 0-0. They're not the quality team that they were a year ago. The rest of the world is caught up. But the worst part is for me is that a lot of them were bad mouthing the U.S., which I understand they have the right to do, but it seems when you're representing your country in a platform like that or the Olympics, can't you just wait till you come back home or something? I don't know. It bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
It's just, we know the rest of the world feels that way. Do you have to do that too? So I think between that, the fact that the games were doing women's soccer no help by being on at 5 in the morning or 3 in the morning, it's going to be another 4 years before anything happens to women's soccer. And if you're, again, I've talked about this, we're trying to get equal pay. And remember, nobody cares about men's soccer either. Soccer is the only thing where women should absolutely have equal pay. But you're not going to help your case by losing, not scoring any goals, and the fact that your games are on at 3 or 5 in the morning, which of course is out of your control. But I feel a little bad for them, but they certainly had a decent run. It doesn't go on forever. And I was watching them play. They certainly are talented. It is fascinating watching them play. And quite frankly, here in America, I think everyone, including the men, prefer women's soccer to men's soccer. So, yeah, that should be equal pay. But if you're telling me the WNBA should get equal pay to the men, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Well, the reason the soccer team does, like, the big reason they don't get the same pay is because their venues are generally overall smaller. And even when the teams, like the men's teams, aren't good, they're usually still selling more tickets because there's more seats.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, I don't know why.
Globally, not just,
Oh, globally?
Yeah. And there's like very few female teams compared to men's team anyway. So.
Well, right. And globally, again, that would make sense that the men are more, I don't want this to come out the wrong way, are not
financially successful.
They're more successful. But here, ironically, in America, the women are more successful. It's kind of funny. Everything's backwards. And the women's soccer, I think, is more exciting and people like it more. I mean, obviously, when the World Cup comes, more people that don't like soccer will watch. But women's soccer is just as exciting as gymnastics in the Olympics. These are the things, and tennis. That's the things where women shine in sports. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, when Rapaho was bringing that up 4 years ago, it was about the World Cup team, them making, like, the women's World Cup team making less money than the men's World Cup team, and that's where it's like they just don't sell as many. There's just less money in the product as of right now, but it's growing.
Because I think women, they're in more commercials, they're more recognizable. It's just kind of funny because women in sports obviously make less. They're not as
well. The World Cup is like outside of the U.S. and there's like you said, there's like what eight teams now. I mean,
that's it.
There's not. I'm
you mean joking. In America there's 8 teams?
No. World Cup wise, there's way less women's teams than there are men's teams.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and like again, the venues are smaller and things like that. Like that's why the World Cup team makes less. The professional soccer teams in America, like that's not what was being compared. I
just can't believe they gave that guy, from Florida that we showed last week, like all this money, and I'm like, who cares? No one cares here. As soon as football starts, no one gives a shit about soccer anymore, if they even did. And the funny thing is that soccer could completely compete with baseball because baseball kind of sucks, and they certainly had an opportunity to kind of overtake it during the years when everybody was kind of down on baseball. Now with this new pitch clock thing, people are getting more into it because it's shorter games and it's a little more exciting. You can't talk about the New York teams, but the rest of the country's having fun, and that's where soccer could, make a play. If they just, but I don't even know when or where they play. I think there's a soccer team that plays at Yankee Stadium, but I don't even know. No, I haven't seen a weekly welcome to Wrexham. I think somebody mentioned that last week. I haven't seen it. I don't know. Well, you guys can disagree with me. I'm just giving you the facts that, what am I saying? That women's soccer is more prominent here in the U.S. What am I saying wrong? I feel like women's soccer does better here than men's soccer. I think it could be more prominent. What am I saying that's wrong? Mike, what am I doing?
I don't know. That might be disagreeing with me. I don't know.
Whatever. You guys want to do that? That's fine. I'm not in the mood today for your nonsense. I've had enough of the chat room lately.
I think what we're saying is women's soccer is great and should be doing better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
It doesn't come out the right way. It's pretty, oh, Marcy's making fun of baseball. Okay, yeah. Well, again, yes, baseball. Yes. All right. There, my views stink. Baseball for me is just stupid, and it's just dumb. And I mean, I watch it. I'll sit there and watch the Mets game, even though they're a mess. And certainly, I like playoff baseball and stuff, but I'm just sitting around waiting for football. And I love on my birthday when it's on Channel 4, even though it's stupid preseason games, when it's on TV, it's so exciting. I watched the Hall of Fame game because the Jets were playing. Oh my God, Mike, I was watching the Hall of Fame induction ceremony because there was. No, it's funny you mentioned that, Ange. I didn't have coffee, and I'm down today. Like I needed some coffee. The problem is, Ange, I'm going out after I finish this. I'm going to dinner, and I didn't want to have coffee. That's so funny because you're absolutely right. I'm I had a nap earlier, and I think it threw me off. Good. Wow, you guys are good. You knew right away I didn't have coffee. I usually get it before the show starts. I'm getting more into it. I'm sorry. Anyway, you can tell I'm grumpy. Yes, it's well. I'm always cranky after my nap. I get so depressed after my nap. Also, all right, I'll just tell you guys what happened just before we signed on. My friend Joe called me, and this is so weird. Told me that Lin-Manuel is doing a Warriors musical, the movie The Warriors. I don't know if you remember that. I've been talking about that idea, and last year I wrote down all the songs. And then I wrote a song 2 weeks ago, because I was going to do it, and now it's actually happening, and I'm really upset. So
songs like Ajax Lament and
I can tell you the names of the songs I had. I think I
want to know the names at the very least.
Well, these are the ones I had. I don't know what Lin-Manuel's.
His are gonna be all boring. His is gonna be nothing cool.
It just seemed like a great idea for a musical. It was so obvious. There's so much dancing and nonsense, and it's like got everything you need in the black and white, and the color. What are the Yankee? The guys wearing the guys wearing the
baseball.
Yeah. The baseball Furies. So here are the musical. I got 20 musical numbers. Coney Island 79 is the opening number. Then Gangs of New York, Midnight Summit, Cyrus's song.
All
I wanted to do was bring us all together. Number 4, It Was the Warriors.
Well, I guess you couldn't dig it.
Right. It was the Warriors. No, it was the Warriors. Swan the War Chief, Coney Island reprise. Nice. Boppers, which is recurring throughout. Turnbull AC's Magic Bus. The Orphans. That was the song I wrote to put in the show I was planning. I don't understand what happened. I can't believe somebody beat me to it. Unwritten Protocol. That's the name of the song.
What's that
96. What?
What's that one about?
I don't know. I told you I wrote this a year ago.
Unwritten Protocol.
I don't know why I came up with that.
Sounds like something that would be in the RoboCop musical.
Well, I guess it was something about there was an unwritten protocol about the way the gangs are supposed to act.
Gotcha.
Then the 96 Street Station song, the Baseball Furies, the Lizzies have their own musical number, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, Mercy's song in the Subway Cavern. I'm just a girl trying to get out of what I'm called. It would be like, there are worse things I could do. Then They Think We Did It. The Punks, the Whistleblower, the Coney Island reprise, Come Out to Play, The Best. You know how that song is going to be.
Mm.
And then the final song would be In the City, of course. So it all made sense to me.
It's the only musical where every song begins with them snapping.
Well, that and West Side Story.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Would have been great. I don't know where Kat is. That's a good question. Hawaii, Gabriel. Gabriel is driving around because he just sent me a picture of Harold Ramis's gravesite.
Wow.
He goes to visit those kind of things, and he sent me a picture of Harold Ramis's. So he must be in the Chicago area or something. I think that's where he's buried.
It's
Although
for
I'm
his
glad
new
I didn't
book,
show Molly that.
Deadbeat Dads.
I'm glad I didn't show Molly that, though. I didn't think that would have been too much. You know, like, hey, here's a picture of your dad's gravesite. How are you?
Do you hear what I said?
No, some the deadbeat dads.
This is for his new book, Deadbeat Dads.
What would that be?
His new book. He took a picture of Harold Ramis's dead gravesite.
Because
Him and Molly.
Because she didn't find out that was her dad until she was 15.
Yeah.
That's
word for the play on words.
Anyway, so I was saying about the Hall of Fame introduction. They introduced Joe Klecko got inducted. He was a New York Jet from years ago, and he's in Smokey and the Bandit 2. So I was hoping they were going to mention that, and they did multiple times. And so he's in 3 Burt Reynolds movies. So Burt Reynolds loved using Joe Klecko, and I love that he mentioned it in his speech. It really made me happy because I don't know if you know about Smokey and the Bandit 2. He's in it. Terry Bradshaw's in it. Mean Joe Green. Remember that part? He comes in and he's like, and Terry Bradshaw knows the Bandit. He goes, "Oh, hi, Bandit. Hey, Frog." And I'm like, this is stupid, but I love it. And then Mean Joe Green turns Jackie Gleason's car over because he's screaming at him, calling him names, trying not to use the N-word, I think, in the movie. It's like, really, it sounds like he is anyway. And then Mean Joe Green turns over his car. It's really awesome. Yeah.
It's him on the left, right?
Yep. Yeah, it turns out he went to trucking school before he knew he was going to become a football player, and it paid off because in Smokey and the Bandit 2, he's driving a truck. So
was he in Cannonball Run also?
I think he was in Cannonball Run as well, but I'm not sure which, because I think it's Bradshaw and Mel Tillis,
right?
Who are
I think he's
my
in like
favorite.
One of the big vehicles that gets like towed right away during the roadblock.
Oh, okay, yeah, they just gave him a small part. Oh yeah, is that what Aunt Judy's saying? Oh yeah, the Dave Juskow Memorial. That's yeah. I'll try and get pictures, everybody. It's kind of around where my mother lives. Yeah, it's the Dave Juskow Memorial Association, and there's a big gravesite with my name on it, ready and waiting. Yeah, that's a true story. Meanwhile, Aunt Judy, quite frankly, today I had just found out something about your father. For some reason online, something came up where in 1949, my grandfather was an FBI agent. And I guess he was in 1949, he was already retired. And they used to have like a newsletter, I guess. And in the newsletter, it says, Lou Juskow just got arrested by the Brooklyn district attorney for not being able to explain why he had a body in his trunk. That's my grandfather and Aunt Judy's dad. Now, I have decided that story is half true. I believe my dad told me that he got into some sort of fender bender, or he got pulled over once for having guns in the car, in the trunk, that he couldn't explain. And I'm thinking that the article looked like later they were just ribbing the guys that were retired. So I don't think it's a body, and I don't think he was arrested, but they were making fun of him. And then later in the letter, which is a very long, pamphlet or whatever they sent out, they said, well, I hope nobody minds that we're ribbing them. We know that there's guys that can take it and there's guys that can't. And apparently my grandfather was a good sport. So maybe Aunt Judy can clear that up. Wait, it was about, you know the story. Oh. I had a feeling you know the story, but okay. Well, I wasn't even. I just found that today. So that was kind of interesting.
This was Joe Klecko and Cannonball Run. That was
That's great. He's lifting the car. Yeah, look at that guy. He was part of the New York Sack Exchange. Maybe it was Aunt Judy. Marilyn found it. Okay, so you did send it to me, but I remember somebody telling me they had a bunch of guns in the car, like rifles and stuff like that, which would make sense for somebody in the FBI. Anyway, Mike, why don't you show the pictures I sent you today? Just a couple of photos.
Why don't
Otherwise, the pictures that I have are some from last week, which we never got to, and some from this week. This is how the U.S. lost in penalty shots. It was disappointing. They lost by that much. The ball went over just a tad over the line. And that woman's goalie for the U.S., I mean, she really did everything she could. It's so stupid to win a championship on penalty shots. But the girls didn't come through. And certainly a lot of the leaders didn't do as well as they should have. And if you look at picture number 2, this is why I'm all in. That's Sophia Smith. She's really cute. And that's what they should be. If they want women's soccer, now this is where you can take your views, and I understand. They want women's soccer to do better. They got to be like in a league of their own, where the girls just started doing tricks and stuff like that, and it helped. I mean, this girl's really sexy. That's not the best picture, but look at the next picture. She's beautiful. That's her new boyfriend, who I think she met at college, and now he plays, I think, for the Arizona Cardinals. But she's really cute and really talented. My eyes were fixed on her because she's cute, but she was really good. Yeah, she's obviously a professional soccer player. It's just, funny because normally the way, if we look at the next picture, this is the way this isn't doing anybody any help. That's just being a sexist man. But also, this is the one that was causing trouble, being like, I hate the U.S., all this kind of stuff. So that's not helping your cause, man. I'm sorry. It's completely rude. You're absolutely right.
What did Dick Griffin do?
But she also missed her penalty shot. Just saying. Now, this one happened today in Pennsylvania, the next picture.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So this car landed on the second story of this house. And the best part about this story is, if you go to the next picture too, is that it wasn't an accident. Somebody launched their car into that house, like to try and do this. We're trying to find more information, but I love that it wasn't an accident. That's the best. Somebody hates the people in that house. So I don't even know how you launch this. The what?
That car in that house broke up.
Well, that's like right. That's like some Smokey and the Bandit shit. They must have had like some sort of plank or something. You saw that, Marcy? Yeah, this is in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Kind of fun.
That's the last one.
Anyway, that's all the news for today. The poor person's house. I know that's the worst part. Is like, thank nobody was hurt. Thank God nobody was in there. Can't stand when there's a car when it is nobody's fault, and a car somebody doesn't know how to drive. People suck. And I can tell you, just taking the bike home today, people don't know how to drive. They don't know how to ride a bike. I see it all. They don't know how to walk in the street. I mean, it's all bad. It's just, people just suck. I mean, I'm so cautious when I'm on a bike or the motorbike or the car, and I just see people, and I'm usually, I mean, so far so good. The only reason I haven't gotten an accident because I'm assuming somebody's going to do something stupid. So I always take that into consideration. But boy, wait, it was a female driver? Oh, a week late. Nice. But also Asian. Nice. The old school things we used to say. Okay, I am going to share my screen for the slides I have for everybody today. Share screen. Right. And here we go. All right, Mike, I'm ready.
All righty.
Start off with Hunter Biden. Everybody loves this guy. This guy's such a troublemaker. It's what a dork. I mean, there's just nothing you can say. He's like, who's that? Who was Jimmy Carter's brother?
Billy.
Billy Carter. Right.
The one who had his own beer.
Right. Billy Beer. That's right. Or even Bill Clinton's brother. I mean, I know this is his son, but I mean, he seems like a real genuine idiot. And I guess you heard about this. This was from 2 weeks ago, where Mitch McConnell, I mean, I don't know why they're saying, I mean, isn't that having a stroke?
It seemed like it.
Yeah, he just stopped talking. Isn't that a stroke? I don't know why they're not saying he clearly had, it's really
either
fucked
a stroke
up.
or a voodoo doll, one or the other.
Yeah, right. Something like that. It was really creepy. And nobody's talking about it because I guess he's so afraid he's going to lose his seat, but it might be time. I mean, that's pretty bad. At least everybody, I mean, it just, and everybody just let him sit there because they just thought, I don't know, it was such a strange thing, right?
Yeah.
And this, of course, you might know, I mean, the transparency on flying objects. They actually had to have, Marcy says they are covering it up majorly. Yeah, they're covering it up. What are they? How can they cover it up? We watched it happen. The guy clearly had a stroke. Yeah, it really seems like a cover up like this. Like now it's right. So to cover it up, they're uncovering UFO, like being real. This is their plan to make Mitch McConnell look normal. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on there. They're just, he's pretty bad news. They're just, look at this. These are our politicians. I mean, what's happening here? I still want to believe. You have these guys. Well, I think these are guys might be old army guys that saw UFO. I don't know.
Yeah, that's great. Aliens are real. Are they going to make the gas cost less? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, this is just so. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. Is this really necessary? Let's assume that there are UFOs and aliens. So what? I don't know. As long as we don't end up in an Independence Day situation, who gives a shit? Because it's going to end up that way anyway. I can't believe somebody hasn't overtaken our planet already. We're so ready for the takeover.
Now I got to worry about a new bank holiday.
This is in Greece, the island of Rhodes. Tourist wildfire and tourist evacuation. It's so fucked up. Can you imagine? You go into this beautiful countryside and everything's just on fire, and you have to evacuate. Like you leave California, you leave Canada. You're like, well, I go to Greece, and it's the same shit. And the worst part is, this is the way it's supposed to look. Well, what could possibly happen here? And what's burning there? There's a couple of trees.
It's all the hair oil.
It's what?
It's all the hair oil. But
for real?
No. Jeez.
I mean, this is supposed to be a paradise, as Dr. Zayas used to say in Planet of the Apes. From what I know about man, he used to live in a paradise. The only thing I read in those scrolls, I believe with all my heart. Man is his own worst enemy. Beware the beast man. He will kill his brother if he could possess his land. I saw nothing in that cave that makes me feel differently. All right, Doctor, I've scared you from the start. Why? I can even do the little ape. But why must progress stand still? Good work, Lucius. Always keep him guessing. Never trust anyone over 30. Doctor, I'd like to kiss you goodbye. All right, but you're so damn ugly. I guess I'll move on then.
Lou
Here's
Wagner.
a bunch of jerk offs. What?
That's who played the little one, Lou Wagner. Lucius.
Yeah, Lucius. What about him?
It was played by Lou Wagner.
Who's Lou Wagner?
That's just the actor's name. He has a
Oh,
particular
it
weird
is?
voice. Like he has a weird voice. He sounds like a time traveling Joe Mackey.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that guy's voice was in like everything. In fact, I think he was one of those voices where my sister and I, whenever we watched a movie and somebody had that voice, we would like look at each other and just laugh. Oh my God, it's that kid again, Lou Wagner. I got to look him up to see what his story was. Was it just his voice, or was he actually in the costume?
He was in the costume too. He did a lot of like character work on like old TV. He was just interviewed by Dana Gould recently.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Right. It would make sense he would still be alive.
Yeah. I mean, he's very old, but
Well, is he,
he's
though?
always sounded like that, though, which is interesting.
Well, if that was in 1969, and he was maybe, well, what would he be? Would he be 12, or would
He was
be
born
15?
in 1940.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess he's in his 80s.
Yeah.
But he got to work with Charlton Heston. What a pleasant surprise, Doctor. What kind of place is this?
That's right. He was on Chips.
He was?
Yeah, he was like the mechanic on Chips.
I gotta go. You gotta show me some more pictures later after I do this.
Okay.
Yeah, these are mermaids in Israel. If you didn't know there were Jewish mermaids, what's the matter with people, Mike? What the fuck is happening? What are they doing? Why are they doing this? Do you know how dangerous this probably is, going into the water when you can't move your legs? How have you not heard about mermaids drowning?
Well, I think they're in the shallows, but that's how fish do. I mean, not fish. Dolphins do it.
Yeah, I know, but you know,
Their tails are flat.
these people don't look like they're in a lot of shape.
True.
Speaking of Israel, look at this guy. He's just asking for it. Wearing the Israeli flag on his face. This guy's looking for trouble.
He looks like a superhero.
That'd be the last thing I would wear on my face. I'm like, God, I hate Israel. Everybody hates us. Like, that's a very strange mask.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I like it too. It's really funny, but I feel like this. It looks like this guy is saying Salem or something. So it's like he's baiting him.
He's like a superhero that hangs out with Hawkeye a lot, you know, just
right. And this, I guess they're ramping up for the Olympics, which are next year, 2024, right?
Yep.
Summer Olympics. This is the 3,000 meter steeplechase in London. I mean, why don't they have this all the time where they have to go through water? I thought horses do steeplechases. When do people do steeplechases with the water?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that. Have you?
No.
I mean, this seems like a really fun event.
Yeah.
That could be very exciting in the Olympics if this is new or something. I mean, if you're jumping over stuff and getting wet, that's great. That's some exciting stuff. This would be the last thing I would ever want to do, especially as a man. The last thing you want to do is slip over these things because it looks like they're standing on it, like they jump on it and then get off. One miss with your wet shoes for a guy or a girl, still bad news. Oh, they're practicing in water because by the time the Olympics, all the ice caps would have melted. Nice. A week late with another score. This is why you don't want to box, because, you know, if we're all trying to get our faces perfect, then this is not going to be good for whoever this is. What is her name? Annie Thatcher. That's what happens to your face when you get hit. I must have gotten hit multiple times. Oh, that's such a creepy thing. So this is a dog in the Philippines. But, of course, the first thing it reminded me of, because it just looks like such a poor, scrappy dog, I was thinking of Annie.
Aw.
And the song, Dumb dog, why are you following me? I ain't got a crumb, dog. Nothing. It just that's the kind of dog that Annie would find on the street and take in. And there's, of course, the original Sandy with Andrea McArdle, the original Annie, and the only Annie in all of our books. I mean, and the best part is Sandy, he was such a star. He got taken out to dinner a lot. Why are you following me? I ain't got a crumb, dog. Hello? Is this on? How about letting me be? I ain't gonna feed you, ain't got a scrap for you, need you, don't give a rap for you, dumb dog. But seriously, that guy on the right was Sandy's trainer for the original Annie. And there they are attending the Outer Critics Circle Awards together. But the great thing is, this guy is still alive, I think. And he trained the Black Annie dog, the Black Annie Sandy. So I don't know what this guy does in between Annie remakes. But I guess he still has some sort of. I like this, the dog in the Black Annie. I think that's a good Sandy. I could see this dog going arf. I just watched Black Annie again last week. I actually watched it.
Like that you called it Black Annie.
I thought we were all calling it Black Annie.
Usually not into a recording device.
Oh, I thought everybody was calling it that when it came out. Well, you know what? It's not a bad version. I think who's the girl that plays Miss Hannigan? Cameron Diaz might have been. Yeah, Blanny. I know they were calling it that. Well, I guess this is in 2014, so it was before everybody got politically correct. So
yeah,
this is a true old man being like, "What? They're not calling it Black Annie anymore." Didn't Kenan Thompson, wasn't he calling it that? Didn't he call it that like every week on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz plays Miss Hannigan. That was miscast. And she's usually she was good, but doesn't make any sense. I didn't really care for Carol Burnett either. Actually, Jane Lynch made a heck of a lot of sense when she just redid it on Broadway. But this girl was good, and the songs were good. You know who's really pretty and good in this is Rose Byrne. A lot better than Anne Ranking, who I didn't care for. And that, but Jamie Foxx is Daddy Warbucks, and it's not bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad. I thought I was gonna not like it, but they just add extra drum beats in it, make it a little bit more rap-like. It was good. Yeah. And to give them their due, this is. Does anybody know what this is? If you don't read the top, it's Freddie Mercury from Queen. This is his cat memorabilia that they are now selling at auction at Sotheby's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I think he might have been gay. Now, this is just, I don't know for sure. Marcy, I don't know. I just didn't like her in that. She was, to me, Carol Burnett, who I worshipped as a little boy. There were two female icons that I worshipped in comedy, which was very rare at the time. It was definitely Carol Burnett, obviously, and Andrea Martin. But Carol Burnett, later, I didn't care for her, and I loved the Carol Burnett show, and she was okay, but I always thought she was a little bit more forced, and that was always the problem. I don't like Randy Rainbow, Marcy, actually, my friend, because I'll tell you why. My friend is his manager, and he just keeps pushing him on me all the time, and that's the problem. You have to discover somebody. So I just need to spend some time with him. I'm sure I will like him. But I still like Carol Burnett. I think she's really cool. I just didn't like her in the movie, and I didn't like her in anything else but the Carol Burnett show. I didn't like her in the Four Seasons with Alan Alda. I don't know, something about her. I couldn't see her after the Carol Burnett show, but that Carol Burnett show was great. Doesn't hold up in the least at all, like when it's on at 11 o'clock after Hogan's Heroes. But Andrea Martin, man, SCTV, her, Catherine O'Hara, my goodness, she's something else. I was just watching the scene in Waiting for Guffman where she's drunk. In fact, this is one of the things I might teach in class. She's drunk with Fred Willard, and it's great too. Fred Willard is actually being a little bit more serious because he's always so goofy. This shows you what a good actor he was as well. He's just playing a part. And Catherine O'Hara is drunk they go out with Eugene Levy and his wife, and that's when he tells them about I had what every man dreams of, a penis reduction operation. But Catherine O'Hara's drunk, and I think that was one of the things, if I was to teach an acting class, one of the classes would definitely be, how do you act when you're drunk? Because drunk acting can go either way. You either get the Margaret Houlihan drunk, the Loretta Swit MASH drunk, which is bad acting and yet still enjoyable. Or you get something like Catherine O'Hara is taking another spin on getting drunk, and the way her hair is and the way she's acting and saying things that go off in sentences, like real character study of acting. And, that is somebody that we could really take, a course in, on who's, like Dudley Moore, obviously, is the pinnacle of what we want to see in a drunk. But, some people just don't get it. And when you're talking about comedy drinking, I guess.
Yeah.
Dudley Moore is the shit. And that's why he made multiple movies where he was just that character. But yeah, when it's very difficult to act drunk and to do drunk. I actually have a video of me somewhere when I had my cooking show and I'm wearing a tuxedo and I'm drunk and I go back in the kitchen at the World Trade Center and start yelling at the chefs. And I remember saying to myself, I'm going to take it down a notch because everybody acts drunk, just does it a certain way. I'm going to just make it subtle. So when you're an actor, you're always making the choice of, how am I going to play drunk? And that's what I was going to say about Catherine O'Hara when she's in this scene. And then you picture the character she plays in Schitt's Creek. Well, she's just something else. What an actress,
That was awesome.
And what were you going to say, Mike? Sorry.
It was Andrea Martin, correct? That was the other one?
Yeah, Andrea Martin. Sorry, yeah. And,
I'll answer your question. I think it's because Loretta Swit was acting while drunk, while
you might
Catherine
be right.
O'Hara was acting drunk.
Right. Good point. Yeah, Loretta Swit is like, she's doing the classic slurring the word. Frank, yeah, I could have gone for you. Whatever, that kind of stuff. So, well, Ange, no, this is for you. This is actually in Phoenix. He's an owl. His name is Snickers, and he's being hosed down a little bit to keep him cool. I thought you'd like it. Snickers.
I like it.
I like an owl named Snickers.
Snickers the owl.
If I had a pet owl like in Harry Potter, I think I'd name him Snickers.
I'd name mine Floyd.
Floyd?
Yeah.
Wait, what was Harry Potter's shit?
Hedwig.
Hedwig, right? Not Hagrid. Hedwig. That's right.
Yeah, Hagrid was the giant dude.
Right. And this, of course, why we're showing this is Humpback Whale. We always like to show it because they are, thank goodness they're still there because we don't want this.
Yeah.
Nobody understands that except me and Mike all the time.
The laziest ship design ever.
Right? They're like, well, we already spending a lot of money filming in San Francisco. So
we'll just have an inanimate carbon rod come out.
It is weird. But then what would it be? It couldn't be a whale just floating in space. That would be stupid too. So
actually, it did work. I'm not going to say it didn't work.
Yeah, no, it did.
And monolithic.
Yeah. No, Marcy, it's called the Cetacean Probe. And it's like a community of whales that are looking for each other on different planets. And this was SpaceX launched another rocket the other day in Cape Canaveral. And I like this because it really seems like the Flash was involved. Um, was it SpaceX? Was he helping the rocket off, or was it just the Flash and the Reverse Flash getting together and feuding? Wait, was it? Is it the Reverse Flash causing trouble? You guys know what the Reverse Flash is? He's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
He has a different light about him. He fucks with the Speed Force. Hi, Cammy. How about this Greta Thunberg? You believe this girl? She's still doing it. She's still protesting. What is she, 18 now? 19? Man, she's going to be cool when she gets older. She's going to be around for a long time. She's the real deal.
Yep.
You got to like it. She looks kind of pretty there, too. Am I allowed to say that? Is she 18 yet? Let's see what she grows up to be. But
you can say the first sentence without the second one.
But I love that she. Even the guys are kind of smiling because they know, like, she's like the real deal. You know, she's blocking it. She's blocking an oil facility in Sweden. Yeah, you really got to like her. Thanks a week late. I'm glad you get the DC jokes. That's a tough one. You know, people get the Marvel ones, but the DC ones, it's a tough sell. Oh yeah, Ange, that's true. Yeah, Greta's. Yeah, that's the only hope everybody has who's, you know, Gen X. Now, you know, these guys aren't doing anything. Alphorn players. This is the Alphorn Festival in the Swiss Alps. There's a festival for all these idiots. That's got to be horrible. All these players. This is like when all those idiots get on at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's like 30 guitars up there, and you're like, is anybody really playing? It's just stupid. Yeah, right. That's what it sounds like. It's just like a stupid, like Price is Right losing a horn. It'd be so depressing. But how can you get depressed in that unbelievable view?
Yeah, I thought they were playing the Green Hornet theme in that.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Somebody was asking me about my bucket list of places to go. I'm like, I don't have one, but looking at that, maybe there, especially living in New York City, you just want to be in a place where you can sound the music it up and twirl your arms and go free. Oh, Ricola. Right. That's what those idiots do. That's right. Ricola. Right. These are voodoo wrestlers fighting in a schoolyard in the Congo. Voodoo wrestlers. So what are they doing? Are they just like this? Like, are they doing spells? What is a voodoo wrestler? It looks like he's like, oh, I'm going to hit you with my potion.
Yeah,
I never heard of such a thing. Now, what I did see,
like a blast.
The what?
It looks like a blast. That's why Mitch McConnell froze.
Right. That's when you said that. I said, oh, it's interesting. I actually have some voodoo wrestlers right here. If you'll just step in. But these are mud wrestlers in India. Wow. It's male mud wrestling. Now, as you all know,
the guy in the back is like, it's my first day.
Unfortunately, I think I have the same tits, but anyway.
Is he there to wrestle or just there to enjoy it?
I think he's just there to enjoy.
Because I know those are probably knee pads, but it looks like he's just wearing high boots.
The worst part is all men there, and it's male mud wrestling. And who wants to see that when we know this is all anyone wants to see?
Oh, that's against all the regulations. How can you even pin somebody doing that?
In what? In the male wrestling?
No, the women's one.
Oh, yeah.
There's too many people in that tub.
We all love female mud wrestling, as was depicted in, of course, the Molly's dad's movie, Stripes. Molly would have nothing to say about this. Well, then you can blame your dad. But that's why I was like, I never even heard of male mud wrestling. That must be the professional sport. And this was like the last place. In fact, Andrew, I think this was in Arizona, the last place where you could probably see female mud wrestling. Yeah, how do they not have it in Florida? That seems like that's where it would be. But yeah, this is in your town. Yep. You're welcome.
Yeah, point shaving. That's why they got rid of it in Florida.
Yeah, right. It's always that. There's always a troublemaker. This was that end of that stupid Tour de France. This guy in the yellow was the guy here, right in the middle. He won. I don't know how you win that thing. I mean, it seems like they're
first.
Yeah, but It's like they all seem together all week long. I don't know.
Well, it goes by your start, like your time from when you leave or something like that. It's not like a literal race. It's more about your time, I think, right?
Yeah, but look how annoying this would be if you're a tourist and you want to go see this legendary place, which I just go to Washington Square Park and see the same thing. But I'm saying if I was there, how angry would I be? Like, wait, today is the tour? Oh,
it's like waiting for a train when you're driving.
The what?
It's like waiting for a train when you're driving. It's like, how many cars are on this thing?
God, there's so many cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens right by my sister's house. We got to wait for like a half hour for those stupid trains.
Ugh.
And that's, of course, the right over Twitter headquarters. They took out the bird. Ironically, there's a bird flying above it. They took it. They have that stupid X, which is driving me crazy on my phone because I think it's something else. And I'm like, oh, that's Twitter. I keep forgetting. Does anybody know why they changed the logo?
For fun.
It's stupid.
To bug you.
It's working. Old man yells at cloud. This is the weekend.
Real quick, I'm not going to show Obama. I'm going to show that you can't see it. But I'm going to show this one, the Jessica Dan, so everyone can feel better.
Oh, thank you. I love that one. Marcy's daughter. This is the weekend. The musician. This is his show in Milan. He's so smart. It looks so cool. And it looks like a fashion show in Milan. So it's like, if I'm in Milan, I'm going to do something what they like over here. Obviously, they have fashion shows all the time since we do it all the time. We always show them all the time. The weekend is very cool. And this is, what did you say about goat yoga? Who said that? Ange, goat yoga. I don't know what that means, but this is yoga in that the Edge overlooking New York, which, as of course you know, is where I do my modeling pics. That same place. Everybody knows that. And that's why I get angry if there's a bunch of yoga people there because I can't do my modeling pics. I look amazing there. And that's this week's picks. Huh?
Hello.
Where are you?
I'm right here.
Oh, you fade. Your voice faded. I was like,
I wasn't right in front of the microphone. Here are some of the things you talked about.
Yep. Well, that's not. Oh, that's right. That is Waiting for Government. Right. Yeah, she's always drunk in the movie. That's why her hair is all messed up. Yeah, we should show that scene. It's so funny. Eugene Levy's so good in that too. And then he wants to pull out his penis. He's like, "Oh no, Kimosabi." Yeah, that scene is really good acting. And then, of course, whoever's plays Eugene Levy's wife is very good. I don't think she was ever seen again. I don't think she is. Oh my God, Billy Beer.
Yep.
What a mess. The president. So, well, that's the way it would be for me if my sister was the president.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's kind of tragic if you read about him.
What's so tragic?
Really nice guy. He wasn't a drunk, but being made fun of apparently made him an alcoholic or something.
Oh, is that right? Oh, that's sad.
So,
well, that's like I said, that's but that's not. Oh yeah, no, right. He's in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Lucius. Oh, he must have been older. Oh, that's him.
It's him a few years ago.
But where will you go? I must say this is inexcusable. He just died a few months ago?
No. He was interviewed by Dana Gould
interviewed.
Recently.
Yeah. God, I'd love to see what else he was in. Oh, there you're saying. Which one is he?
Right there. The little guy.
That's him?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense. That's only 10 years later. Where's Eric Estrada in that picture?
What? That's probably they're pointing at. They're
right.
playing Who's the Asshole, and they're pointing at Eric Estrada.
God, that show sucked. That show was boring. I never liked it.
Apparently, that show was really good. Like, if you want to know what LA looked like before the '80s tore everything down, like Chips has a lot of establishing shots that show what it looked like.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I figured, doesn't Wonder Woman have that too, or they're just shooting on a lot? They're shooting in the same place that MASH shoots.
But everything in Chips is on the street, so.
Right. Wow,
And
that's the
then
guy. That's Lucius. Oh, and
that's him on Lost in Space.
oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense. That timeline adds up, right? Because it was the 60s. Lou Wagner. Lou Wagner. Wow. What is J5? Oh, his character's name was J5.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Oh, thanks for doing that research. I always wondered about him. I just assumed he did voiceovers all the time. And
Yeah. Dana Gould.
Dana.
Is that the comedian, Dana Gould?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I just did something. Dana Gould just did something really interesting, and I can't get a copy of it. It's a comic book. Oh, it was a Planet of the Apes. Wait a minute. Why did you mention
Zayas show?
what?
He does a thing on YouTube, like the Dr. Zayas Hour or something, too.
Oh, okay.
But he has a podcast where he just interviews people.
Okay, this is good because okay, this makes sense because he did a comic book version, like a graphic novel of the original story of Planet of the Apes, and I'm trying to buy it, and I can't get a copy anywhere except for like $100. And
Planet of the Apes Visionaries?
Yes.
You can get it right now on Amazon for $45.
For $45?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I really wanted it. I was looking it up the other day, but it's Dana Gould.
Yeah.
Like
he loves Planet of the Apes.
Oh, 44 wouldn't be that bad. Oh. Yeah, obvious. So now doesn't that look great? Because this was the original book by whoever it is. Oh, right. Okay, this is Rod Serling's original screenplay until they made him change it. When they didn't give him any ideas, he was basing it on the actual Pierre, whatever that guy's name is, book, where
Pierre
it was
Boulez.
supposed to be what?
Pierre Boulez.
Yeah, where they were supposed to be more advanced and futuristic. And because they were like, that'll cost us too much money, they did it the other way.
Yeah.
So Dana Gould, I guess, took it upon himself to make an interesting graphic novel about it, and I want to see it. And I guess there's not a lot of copies, which is why that book is $45, and I've seen it go for $100.
And that's the hardcover, so it might just have been the.
I am going to tell my sister to buy that for me for my birthday.
Woo!
How about that? That seems fair. Thank you, Aunt Judy. Yes, my birthday is on Sunday. Monday is my show at the Comedy Cellar. It is happening. It's definite now. I've spoken to Esty, Mike.
Yay!
I don't know who's on the show. I know the Roastmaster General is in town. He said he's staying, but he wasn't sure. So I talked to Esty. I'm like, do we want to put Jeff on the show? I won't put him on the lineup because he's not sure. But, put him on if he's around. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. But then, yeah, so anyway. So the show, 9:35, little birthday show action. Monday night. I don't know who's on the show yet. Maybe it's up now. Why don't we take a look, Mike?
It's just Keith Robinson so far.
Oh, okay. So it usually comes up like right after we sign off, like around 7:00. So Monday night, 9:35 at the Pussycat Bar.
Hey, it is up now. Sorry.
Oh, well, don't tell me who's on it. Wait, I want to be surprised.
Okay.
Am I going to get angry?
I don't know. It seems like a fine lineup.
I'm going to tell everybody who's on it in 1 second. Yeah, I knew it usually goes up around this time of night. All right, here we go. 9:35. Dave Juskow. Oh, John Marco Sori. He's great. Oh, Andrew Schultz. Why are there so many people on this show? Ryan Hamilton's my boy. Daniel Simon is terrific, and I don't know who the hell this Maddie Weiner is. Why'd you put so many people on? Isn't that more than usual?
8 people. That is a lot of people.
What do you make of that?
I don't know.
Huh. Well, that's who's on the show. I mean, it does sound like a good. Let's see who's on regular show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, usually it's 5 and the host. You know what? She probably just doesn't think it's probably my fault somehow. Oh, well. All right. Well, that Andrew Schultz and Jeff Ross, Ryan Hamilton, Daniel Simon. I mean, this is a quality lineup.
Yeah.
a really quality lineup, folks. 9:35, the Fatback Pussycat at the Olive
Bar.
at the what?
The bar one.
Yeah, that's going to be an unbelievable show. So that's on Monday, and then I'm going to go out drinking, and I think sleep at my office on Tuesday, and then come back here and do the show in the at the actual Cellar. Right, Mike?
Woo! Nice.
Yeah. So that's we'll call it a wrap today, and that's I guess we'll see everybody next week after I turn another year older. But hopefully we'll be in studio next week. I'll definitely be hungover, so it'll be worse than. Well, actually, when I'm hungover, I'm usually in a much better mood than today. Ironically, after my nap. If you're listening to Billy Joel, A to Z, that we have the song "When in Rome" on this week. That's Billy Joel has said that is his least favorite song. So that's always a lot of fun when he hates a song too. That makes for a good podcast. Mike, where are you going to be this week?
This week I will be no shows this week. So
sorry.
But I'll be heading back to New York finally on Sunday.
You'll be back in New York. I will be at the Comedy Cellar on Monday at 9:35. So if you are in town, please come by. Otherwise, I'll tell you how that and other things went when we return next week, everybody. Have a great weekend. And as always, New York, stay classy. Damn it. I don't think it's working. Good night, everybody.